Hey friends, this is the hymn of the day for April 16th. First, happy Easter. It's great to be in the first week of Easter, so let's just jump into it. For this devotional, it was a really fun one to work with. Definitely some growing time for me, really getting settled into this text. So first read the Colossians. This was actually a Paul letter from prison, which was really nice to get to read through in my Lutheran study Bible. When I was first reading this and then ended up reading the Song of Solomon and then Psalm 16, I was kind of left a little confused, but once I actually started digging into specifically the devotional that was written, it all made a lot more sense. From Colossians, I really was resonating with me was the devotion to prayer and keeping alert. And when I think about the pay attention story that's within this devotional, and thinking about how the phone plays such a role in our lives and how keep alert to the goodness that God manifests around us. And I know when I'm in my phone, I'm not always capable of doing that and thinking about all these pictures of people without their phones in their hands and completely oblivious to what's going on around them. It really was thinking in mind, where am I not alert in my life? And then thinking about that concept and then sitting it next to the Song of Solomon, which is a love poem between two lovers. You know, I read the details in which they use to describe each other and I go, when my head is in the cell phone, there is no way, I'm just way too distracted to be able to have that type of appreciation and detail for my partner. So, thinking about a lot of the relationships in my life and other people's, I see it as very common for us to be on our phones. You know, we're together, but we're very much in separate worlds. And how are we appreciating each other? And how that alertness really helps us to appreciate the things in our lives that are around us and not always having to be away from that. So, thinking about this devotional, it really did help tie in the scripture for me. So knowing that we're also in the season of Easter, though, I wanted to find a hymn that still had that concept of Easter and joy that we're receiving, but still touching on that alertness that we need to have. Because really, if we're not paying attention to Easter, it'll pass and be here, and we'll just completely miss it. So continue to be present with that. The hymn I found was actually in our ELW, and it's 374, Day of Arising. What I love about this hymn is the first two verses are very much, in my mind, really tying well to the Road to Emmaus story. And I'm thinking about disciples that are so sad about the death of their friend Jesus, the one that they followed. And then I think about, here's Christ right next to them, and they are not alert enough to notice that it's Christ himself. But then, when I move to the second parts of the scripture, or of the text, we really are seeing how goodness. I didn't even think about the fact, when I look at this Emmaus texts and how it ties the song, how really every single time we meet for communion, God is present in the bread and wine. And just thinking about that presence of, oh my gosh, that's almost as though we're the disciples on the road to Emmaus every time we go up to the dais to receive communion was really special. And then thinking about this devotional and tying back to this, the last text was really, really good in the verse. Open our eyes, grant us your vision, set all hearts burning, that all creation with you may rise. So it could be just in rising within the resurrection, or just rising our head out of our cell phones to be alert to what's going on. So this is the hymn that we picked. So this is all about participation. So if this, please feel free to sing along to this song. The lyrics are in the description below, so just click on that so you can be a part of it. Also, at the end of this video, I invite you to go back to the Facebook post that linked you to this video and just write, how did this hymn resonate the text for you? Or maybe the text pulled you a different direction and you had a hymn in mind. So, I invite you to write on the Facebook post for that. So I will first play through the song in its entirety. Actually, I need to bring this up. So with the way this is written, I notice I have to find myself being very alert to how the rhythms sit and where they sit with the text. It isn't just a flowing song. It's kind of got some abruptness to it and then flow randomly throughout it. So I think of when it comes to alertness musically, this definitely sets it up. Here's one of the phrases. So those first two phrases really are abrupt, but then the second two measures really flow very nicely. So I think that that little dissonance there between those different rhythms helps me definitely keep alert while I'm singing this song as well. So let's hear it and then sing it together.